Wiki waka wiki waka wiki waka wiki waka waka wiki waka wiki waka wiki 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 woo.
Hi, Charles Stier here at CherryValleyMusic.com, and this is the first of a three-part series on how to change chords smoothly. All of us, when we first start to learn the guitar, of course have to, what I call, build the chord. You're looking at the fretboard and you're trying to figure out where to place your fingers, and you're just one by one getting your fingers down, for example, in G chord. Then as you move to another chord, you pick your fingers up and build the chord and get to the next chord. This is going to show you the first of three ways to really smoothly change from chord to chord. Now, when you ordered this video, there was also the opportunity to download a free PDF of the chord changes that we're going to do. Either you did or you didn't, that's fine. You can order them from any of the three. But the chords we're going to use in the progression throughout all three are G major, E minor, C major, D7, and back to G. So G, E minor, C, D7, and G. Okay, this lesson is called pivoting. And what we're looking for is that in all of these chords there's one finger on the left hand that is a common finger between two chords. In G major and E minor, that's the finger right there, your first finger. So what we're going to do to change smoothly from G major to E minor is that when we play G major, we're not going to remove the entire hand. What we're going to do is we're going to anchor this finger and pivot on it so that this stays down and those two move, this one out of the way and that one to its position in E minor. Okay, let's look at that again. G major, your pivot finger is your first finger, that stays down, those two come up, that one backs off, the middle one comes down, and you're in place for E minor. Now, to get to C major, this is going to be the pivot finger. The middle finger is going to be your pivot finger. So you're here, that one stays down, do not pick it out. This one comes up and goes back, the first finger, the ring finger comes up and lands on the C. So that you've pivoted on your second finger. Let's look at that again. E minor, anchor, pivot, land. For D7, it's the first finger that's going to be the pivot. So we go from here, forming the D7 chord. And the last one, from the D7 to the G, is a slightly different event where we don't pivot on this finger, but this is what we call our guide finger. We're going to slide from this F sharp, the ring finger on the second fret on the first string. We're going to slide that up to the G, while the other two make a fast break heading up here to complete the G chord. So to look at that slowly, we're here. Let's look at it again. Here's the D7. Not picking it up off the string, it's sliding up while those two are heading for the G. Okay, let's look at the whole exercise one more time. Okay, let's look at it again up close. The first of our chords that we're going to use in a progression just means a succession of chords that are changing throughout the song. That's why a pop and jazz musician call the progression the changes. So the changes that we're going to make are first a G major chord. The second chord is an E minor chord. The third chord, C major. The fourth chord, D7. And then finally back to G. G, E minor, C, D7, and back to G. Alright, let's look carefully at our anchors and pivots again. So we're on G major. That's the common finger for between the G major chord and the E minor chord. So this fellow is going to stay anchored down. We're going to pivot on it. That comes in, that backs off, and we have E minor. Again, G major. Don't pick this one up. Just slide it back if you need a little bit, but don't pick it up. To E minor. E minor to C major, that's the common finger. The middle finger is the common finger, so that stays down. This one comes forward, that one goes back. And we go from E minor to C major. Now I know that learning how to do this, we're moving from first learning to build the chord like that, so when it comes down, it sort of sounds like a horse landing on different feet. But what we're trying to do is to then, when we do these, to do it smoothly. Like for example here, not to have to build that chord, but that'll come. Just give yourself time. So you're here on E minor, pivoting. The pivot from C to D7 is on the first finger, so the first finger stays down on your note C, which is on the second string, first fret. Those guys come around to the D7, and then the last part of it again is we don't pivot on from here, but we're going to use this F sharp, the ring finger on the second fret of the first string, to slide up to G and not to come off that string. That will slide up while these make like a fast break across the chord from the same shape that they had on D7 to now the shape back on G major. So here's the whole exercise. So that's it for part one about how to change chords smoothly here at cherryvalleymusic.com. I'm Charles Stier. See you next time.